Jamisha Gardner, it's so low. I can't really hear y'all.
You might have to ask them to turn the volume up at the jail.
Welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving into a tense case out of Michigan's 14B District Court, where defendant Dijia Gardner finds herself caught in a storm of legal complications, technical failures, and some very real-life struggles. On the surface, this may look like just another bond violation hearing, but trust me, there's way more beneath it. We're talking about communication breakdowns with her attorney, missed court orders, a scram tether requirement that could cost her more than she can afford, and the heart-wrenching reality of a mother trying to juggle legal obligations with raising 5 children. And here's the kicker. What started with Gardner calling the police for protection ended with her in custody. This is the kind of courtroom drama where the stakes are sky-high, emotions are raw, and one wrong word could change everything. So stick with me, because we're about to unravel this courtroom showdown piece by piece.
Good morning, 14B District Court is now in session. This is Magistrate Hillary Braley presiding. Now calling case number 25T00229. This is Ypsilanti Township versus Jamisha Gardner.
Jamisha Gardner, it's so low. I can't really hear y'all.
You might have to ask them to turn the volume up at the jail.
We were conflicted out of this case. She let me know that she hasn't spoken with an attorney Bird. I'm actually not sure who appeared for her last hearing. I believe it was a pretrial.
So the pretrial on August 13th, Attorney Bird was there.
Okay. Do you remember that, Ms. Gardner?
No, because remember, I told you my tablet wasn't working right on Wi-Fi. I couldn't really hear what they were saying. I even got it wrong of what the judge was saying because my tablet wasn't working correctly. I couldn't hear.
What you're hearing right now is critical. Gardner is telling the court that she literally couldn't hear her own proceedings because of faulty jail technology and bad Wi-Fi. Imagine being ordered to follow strict legal instructions that could send you back to jail, but you couldn't even make out what the judge said. This sets the stage for one of the biggest questions in this case. If the defendant couldn't fully hear or understand the order, how much blame should she carry for failing to comply? Viewers, let me ask you, if you were in her shoes, would you risk guessing what the judge said, or would you have tried to clarify at all costs?
But somebody has stole my phone, so I didn't have my phone anymore. I know before that I had called him one day before court was coming up. And I said, hey, I heard you were my attorney. I want to speak to you. But he was supposed to call me back, but I never heard from him again.
Okay. Well, he was there for you on August 13th.
She may have. Did you have a video? Did you call in? So if you called in, you wouldn't be able to see the screen. Did you?
Oh, she was on video.
On my tablet,
she wasn't on video.
On my tablet, it was the sound. It was the sound because my Wi-Fi in my house, in a certain area, I guess, it goes off and on. So I couldn't really hear what they were saying.
Okay. All right. 1 second, please.
So, Attorney Moten, when you spoke with Ms. Gardner, how did she come to be in custody today?
I called the police.
I got it, Ms. Gardner.
Sorry.
She called the police to report an assault on her, and they saw that she had a warrant, which she also found out about.
I told them I had a warrant.
Okay. I'm saying that you found out about it, so you knew you had one.
What you're hearing right now is critical. Gardner is telling the court that she literally couldn't hear her own proceedings because of faulty jail technology and bad Wi-Fi. Imagine being ordered to follow strict legal instructions that could send you back to jail, but you couldn't even make out what the judge said. This sets the stage for one of the biggest questions in this case. If the defendant couldn't fully hear or understand the order, how much blame should she carry for failing to comply? Viewers, let me ask you, if you were in her shoes, would you risk guessing what the judge said, or would you have tried to clarify at all costs?
So, on August 13th, you're here today for an arraignment. So the bench warrant issued, it looks like, on August 20th. You were ordered on August 13th by the judge to report to community corrections by the end of that day, August 13th, to be fitted with a scram tether. So,
And see, now, I think that's
Just
where
Miss Gardner, just let her finish and then
yes.
I'll speak. And if there's anything that you absolutely have to say, then you can do that.
Okay.
so, uh, the, okay. Yeah, so August 13th, you were ordered to report there by the end of the day. On the 13th, as of the close of business, August 14th, you had failed to report to community corrections, so they issued a bond violation report. And then the bench warrant actually didn't issue until August 20th, but that is why, because you failed to report to community corrections to get the scram tether.
What you're hearing right now is critical. Gardner is telling the court that she literally couldn't hear her own proceedings because of faulty jail technology and bad Wi-Fi. Imagine being ordered to follow strict legal instructions that could send you back to jail, but you couldn't even make out what the judge said. This sets the stage for one of the biggest questions in this case. If the defendant couldn't fully hear or understand the order, how much blame should she carry for failing to comply? Viewers, let me ask you, if you were in her shoes, would you risk guessing what the judge said, or would you have tried to clarify at all costs?
So,
I did have the violation report and I spoke with Ms. Gardner regarding it. As she stated earlier, she was having some issues with the Zoom. She thought at that point she had a warrant, and she was supposed to turn herself in. She has 5 children, and I believe 3 or 4 are minors. She had to arrange childcare, so she wasn't able to turn herself in at that time. And she planned on doing that once she was able to get them situated, but she didn't know about the scram tether part. Um, I don't, of course, again, we didn't represent her, so I don't know why she needed a scram tether. However, I do know that there is a financial component with the testing or the scram tethers, which may be too much for her to afford. She was going in for regular testing, and then got to she was unable to continue to do that. I don't know if that's why it was ordered. I'm not sure, but regardless, we're requesting a sober link because it is a little cheaper. She said that she would be able to maintain that and comply with the testing conditions.
Now, this is the bombshell moment. The judge reveals that Gardner was ordered to report for a scram tether, a device that tracks alcohol consumption, by the end of the same day she appeared in court. Missing that deadline triggered the bond violation report and eventually the bench warrant. Here's the problem. Gardner claims she thought the judge said, "Turn yourself in," instead of "report for a tether." That's a massive misunderstanding, but if true, it highlights the very real consequences of tech glitches and poor communication in virtual court. Would you call this an honest mistake or a failure to take responsibility?
Her children start school today. She is disabled, so she doesn't work. She doesn't have the financial means to pay a monetary bond. She starts outpatient treatment at Home of New Vision tomorrow, and she also has a surgery on Wednesday. So we are requesting a personal bond, a sober link, until and she can address the violation before the judge. And we're asking for her to be put back on the schedule for her regular court date. And Ms. Gardner, did you do any testing after that, or you weren't in you didn't go to community corrections at all since that date?
Since what day? Since
The last time, because when we spoke, she also said something about she did go to community corrections for testing, and they didn't give her a sober link. She just did a regular drug test. So
yeah,
I don't
they
know
did.
if that was
They,
after the 13th or if that was before.
I just know when I went there, they did not give me the teller. I think that was probably before because I couldn't really
Okay.
hear what they were saying on the screen. I thought she said, "Turn myself in." I didn't know that she said, "Go get on teller again." I thought she said, "Turn myself in." So that's why I called the police originally because I got assaulted, but I knew I had a warrant. So I was going to just get it over anyways Because at that point, I had found someone to watch my children, and I can, come and be responsible. I mean, I know it's not, a good idea, and I don't mean to be disrespectful. It's just, that's exactly how it happened.
Attorney Moten, do you have any sort of documentation of the home of New Vision?
No, I just learned about it this morning.
I have the number if you need it. I did call with CMH workers of mine. They were there with me, and they verified it too. As long as and also Child Protector Services.
Okay. Thank you. You don't have to add anything else at this point.
Okay.
Despite the defense's arguments, the magistrate shuts it down. The scram tether stands. No cheaper alternatives, no flexibility. It's the leg bracelet or nothing. And with that, Gardner's options narrow dramatically. This is the moment where you can almost see the weight drop on her shoulders. For her, this isn't just about legal compliance. It's about whether she can realistically survive the conditions set by the court. It's a stark reminder, in the justice system, sometimes the rules don't bend, no matter how personal your struggles are.
So at this point, I am going to order that prior to your release to be fitted with a scram tether. And that your testing with community corrections to be once a week.
So she has testing once a week and the scram tether.
Yes.
Is she not able to get the sober link?
No, the judge specifically ordered a scram tether in this case.
Which one is that? Is that the one on your leg or the one you
Yes,
blow
it's a
in?
tether.
It's the one
On your leg?
Yes.
Okay, that's fine.
The court will keep the pretrial conference date that was set by the judge, so that will be September 3rd at 9 a.m. That's a pretrial, and a bond violation hearing date that was set on August 13th. We're going to keep that date.
So the next
And-
time I come to court is September 3rd? Is that what?
Yes.
Okay.
And at this time, the court is continuing the bond set by the judge, $10,000 cash or surety.
Here's the kicker. Gardner's bond is set at $10,000 cash or surety. Let's break that down. Cash means she'd have to pay the full $10,000 upfront to walk out. Surety means she'd need a bondsman, usually costing about 10%, so roughly $1,000. Still a huge sum for someone in her financial situation. And when Gardner asks if there's an earlier court date so she doesn't have to wait weeks behind bars, the judge says no. That means unless she comes up with the money, she's stuck until September 3rd. Imagine being in that position, 5 kids at home, a surgery scheduled, treatment about to start, and you're sitting in jail, waiting.
What does that mean?
It means you have a $10,000 bond.
So-
Is there not a sooner date that she can get in? Just because, again, she is supposed to be starting outpatient treatment tomorrow. She has a surgery Wednesday. Her children start school today.
I can appreciate all of that, Attorney Moten. She should have a conversation with Attorney Byrd.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you. Ms. Gardner, you are free to go to the door and tell the jail that you are finished.
Hold on, I have a question, please. So I can't make bond, so the next time I go to court is September 3rd?
Yes.
Okay. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So, ma'am, because I was injured prior to coming to jail with my teeth cracked open like this, do you think they can just take me to my surgery then? Maybe they can arrange it here?
Ms. Gardner, have a conversation with your attorney.
How do I reach him? I don't have his number or anything. Like, how do I get in contact with that person?
Have a conversation with someone from the public defender's office then, see if they can get the contact number for you. Okay. I do not-
Edward Bird. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Have a good day. Thank you.
And that brings us to the end of Gardner's hearing. Let's recap. What started as a call for help ended with Gardner in custody, facing strict bond conditions, a costly scram tether requirement, and no immediate way out. The defense tried to push for alternatives, citing her financial struggles, health issues, and family responsibilities, but the magistrate held firm: tether, bond, and wait for the next hearing. Cases like this raise tough questions. Should courts weigh financial hardship more heavily when setting conditions, or do strict rules ensure accountability? What do you think? Was this fair, or was Gardner set up to fail? If you found this case as shocking as we did, make sure to hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.